to Project 2. Project 2 is going to be a genre analysis of two types of writing within a discourse community. You will be asked to conduct an analysis of the genre conventions within a writing studies discourse community, and you will also be asked to conduct an analysis of the genre conventions within your own particular discourse community in order to see the similarities, differences, and uses of writing to communicate that discourse community's 6 characteristics, in particular their common goals, representation of knowledge, expertise, and belief systems within that discourse community. The requirements for Project 2 are as follows. First, you are going to compare and contrast 2 articles from 2 different discourse communities. As I said, one from writing studies, and you will be using readings that you have been assigned thus far in our class. So you're allowed to choose one of the 7 readings that we've had thus far, and an academic article from your own discourse community. And you should at this point have found, through your interviews with your librarian in your field as well as professionals in your discourse community, the top journals and the top research topics within your discourse community. You will be asked to analyze the format of each article, and that means that you will want to look and see what type of citation is used. So typical for the sciences is APA, social sciences, sometimes APA, humanities, and liberal arts tend to be an MLA. And you want to consider why it is that your discourse community uses that particular type of format, as well as why writing studies use a particular type of format, and what that says about their writing conventions and their representation of knowledge and research within the field. You'll also analyze the style and tone of writing and the lexis used for each article. This means what type of style do they use when they're writing? Is it in first person? Is it more objectively placed in third person? Is their writing very specific and to the point, or is it more narrative in style? What does that tone of writing say about this discourse community and how they communicate? Who they're writing to, what ideas they're trying to represent, and do they use very particular types of terminology or lexis within their writing so that it makes it rather impossible for somebody who's not a member of that discourse community to understand many of the terminologies they're using, or do they tend to speak in more layman's terms? What does that say, again, about this discourse community and its goals and its way of representing information for a very particular audience? You'll want to analyze the topic of research and the purpose of that research within each article. So often very different discourse communities will research very different topics, or they research it in very different ways. So while the scientific community might investigate, say, genetic testing, and what they do is very scientific methods-based lab application of how genetic testing is conducted and how one can improve that testing. The same topics, such as genetic testing, within, say, the humanities or within the social sciences, would be more interested in exploring the ethical implications of genetic testing and whether genetic testing is problematic. So as you can see, they are both looking at the same topic, but in a very different way. So looking at how this research is represented, how this topic is discussed, why the topic and its purpose for research is represented in a particular way, that again says much about the discourse community's goals, the type of knowledge that they're invested in, their belief systems, what they see as valid research. The other thing that you'll look at is how the article is structured, and this means kind of the layout of the article. Are there headings, subheadings, an abstract? Do they use multiple citations? Or is it more fluid in nature, just with many subheadings, if any, and just moving systematically from the topic to the conclusion. That says a lot, again, about that discourse community and how they like to organize their knowledge and their ideas, and also what they would like their readers to be able to gather. So in the sciences, the use of multiple headings and subheadings is used because in the scientific community, most of the information is very scientific. In fact, there's no need to create fluid transitions from sections to sections. In fact, it's almost impossible to do so, and so that's why they use headings. It's also used so that a reader can go into a particular section and find information that they need and know exactly where to go. Whereas in the humanities, social sciences, you can't really understand the information unless you understand the beginning argument and its theory and the framework of that theory. So these are the reasons why that structure is so different. You also want to analyze and reflect upon the similarities and differences, and you want to do this to uncover how different discourse communities communicate through writing in order to provide members with new knowledge, their members with growing expertise, the common goals of that discourse community, and also so that you can understand that genres and the genre conventions within discourse communities are not the same. Writing or good writing is not universal. It's very different for each discourse community. And these genre conventions are very active in that they produce for that discourse community very particular goals, knowledge, belief systems, actions within that discourse community, and for very particular members and audiences that expect a very specific type of communication through writing. For choosing your articles, make sure that you choose an article from Writing Studies that has been assigned as a required reading text in our course. So you can choose Swales, Johns, Connors, Carter, these articles that we have been assigned or about to be assigned for this project. Do not go outside the required readings for this course as your Writing Studies article. While choosing your article from your discourse community, make sure this is an academic article from your discourse community. And again, you should be very clear as to what are the top journals within your field, the top research topics within your field, making sure that you're finding an academic article that is very truly representative of the types of research writing in your field. And if you're still not sure of that, you need to locate your librarian and ask for help, or you can, of course, send me along the article that you're considering, and I can let you know if it's appropriate. Make sure that you choose an article that is of an interest to you and might be a topic that you would continue to research for the remainder of this semester. This is important. We're going to be, from here on out, researching a topic of importance within your discourse community. So each student will have a different research topic based on their discourse community and their interests, but this topic should be a relevant topic and it should be a current topic within your field. So it would behoove you to actually find an article that connects to the research topic that you are interested in researching for the rest of the semester, because you'll already have a source for your final project, which is a research proposal, and a very good understanding of that source for use within your writing. Now, the analysis of